So, Tucky, my dear friend, I mean, just tell me, like, what do you think about VRChat?
VRChat as a whole, it can be viewed as somewhat of a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the one hand, you've got the degeneracy and all the stuff that all those YouTubers talk about in their 3-hour-long documentaries about the culture of VRChat and how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you're gonna have that. You're gonna run into that. Sure, but you're gonna have that anywhere. Name a hobby. It's got a toxic little enclave of people within it.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you. On the other hand, the other side of the sword, or the other edge of the sword, is that VRChat is a very, very interesting place where you can easily just meet regular acquaintances or you can meet lifelong friends. I am fortunate enough to have met lifelong friends that I've gotten together with in real life and gone camping and little meetups and stuff like that before, and it's been nothing but a fantastic time. These people are wonderful people. And at the end of the day, you gotta realize that they're just people like you and me. We're all the same out here.
Right.
Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. But you got to take the good with the bad, and my belief as a whole is that the good outweighs the bad tenfold easily.
Knowing what you do about VRChat, like, what do you think that it's a place that needs people preaching the gospel?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because you got to think, it's a public platform.
Mm-hmm.
Where better to reach those in need of the good word than on a public platform? It's very different in practice, but it's not very different in concept to going and knocking on people's doors.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be honest with you, I've never actually done because I'm terrified of it. But it's a good place. It's a good place to reach a lot of people. This platform has got, I don't know how many users. It hit a record not too long ago. That's a lot of souls that can be reached, you know?
Why do you think that most people do play VRChat?
Well, if I have my history right, which I probably don't, VRChat started out as a little niche VR game where you could just jump in the kooky little avatars and talk to your friends. And that is how I was introduced to this game. Was in 2017 when Uganda Knuckles was the biggest meme on the internet, and everybody was just talking about it, laughing at it. I was like, wow, this looks like a pretty fun game. You just jump in and talk to people. Unfortunately, I had some pretty bad hardware restrictions at that point, so I didn't actually start playing it until pandemic, like a lot of other people.
It's funny.
And I feel like it resonated with a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, because they were, I mean, that was a pretty stressful time. And escapism tends to flourish in trying times like that. People just want to get away from the bad. People want to escape from it. People want to escape from their own reality. And what better way to do that than to come into a virtual reality where you don't have to stand 6 foot away from somebody else.
Right.
I mean, look at all these worlds. Look at the world that we're in now. This came from somebody's mind, and it looks really, really nice.
Right.
It looks like a spot where I would love to hang out in real life.
Yeah.
This has replaced the proverbial third space for a lot of people, myself included. You know how long it's been since I've been to a bar or a pool hall or something? It's been a long time.
Right. I believe it. So would you say that here in VRChat you get a lot of people that are more comfortable than meeting in real life?
I would agree with that statement. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are more comfortable with meeting other people in real life. Or no. It seems like most people that play this game seems like they're kind of at least a little bit socially awkward in real life, and
Tell me about it.
it's easier for them. Yeah,
I know all about it.
it's easier for them. Yeah, I see. That's the thing. I'm the exact opposite. But I would agree with the statement in general of people in VRC or can be a bit socially awkward in real life, so it would be easier for most people to come into a virtual setting like this and talk to people and make friends and all that good stuff.
Do you believe that this is an opportunity for the church to actually reach people that it wouldn't otherwise?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most of the people that play this game, at least in my personal experience, most of the people that I've met, present company excluded, of course, are not exactly the church-going type.
Right.
I remember when me and you and one other guy were doing Bible studies over Discord.
Okay, yeah. So that's way back. You remember like the original days when I was starting off and like trying to, get people together and like do Bible studies and stuff and like trial and error.
I shouldn't have talked about that, should I have?
No, that's good, because like that just shows that we're, what we're talking about. I've been working on and perfecting.
It shows that you're putting the work in, exactly.
Yeah, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and trying to do things well. The first ever lesson I did in the Book of John in VRChat, literally there were like 17 people there. It was crazy. Like it was just like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I was shocked to see so many people. It was really cool.
I am so very sorry I missed that.
No, you're good. But that's the thing. Like it was wild because like after that day, it was nothing but Chef and like sometimes one other person, and sometimes it'd just be Chef and I. Sometimes it'd be just me. So I'd be like just talking to the camera. So some of the lessons are sheerly on YouTube and nobody actually joined. So it's grown quite a lot since then. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm so very sorry that I missed the beginnings.
No worries. Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
It's been wonderful.
Great. I'm glad to hear that, because in truth, like the first ever lesson I ever did, it was kind of poor. Like it was more of me preaching, because I didn't really know how to give a good lesson yet. And I'm still learning how to give a good lesson, so...
Hey, that's one of those things that takes a while to perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with continuous improvement.
Right. Understanding that room, right?
Mm-hmm.
That room is a missionary society, that our desire is to fund missionaries that will, like, bring the good news to VRChat, to the world, in all the means that we can, utilizing this platform and others like it. Would you think that that's something that is valuable, and why?
Yes, absolutely, it's valuable. And I think it would be valuable because it's think of it like this. It's just like funding missionaries in real life, except you're not having to get on a plane and go to Borneo or wherever. And just the fact that it's mainly a virtual thing, but then it actually branches out into the real world. That's pretty incredible. And there's, to my knowledge, this is the only organization doing anything like that. I think it's a vastly untapped market.
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there that can benefit from it. So yeah, absolutely valuable.
Another question, and you don't have to get too personal or mention any names, but what do you know any people on VRChat that let's say you have a heart for, that you wish knew the gospel? Tell me about some people on VRChat.
Well, I do know of a few gentlemen that I consider close friends of mine that have either apostated from childhood faith or just didn't really have that much to do with, that I think could benefit greatly. These guys that I care about, like they were my brothers. I think they could absolutely. They're about where I was when I was their age. I had fallen away from the faith. I hadn't gone to church, and good Lord above knows how long, and eventually I found my way back to it. It was because of a real life friend that I had before I started playing this game. And I'm hoping that I can kind of function as that friend.
Right.
But it's gonna take a long time and good work. But I'm here for it. I can do what I can in my own little way.
What do you think about the work that I've done so far in the ministry?
So far, I think you've done incredible work. You're very easy to get along with. You're very easy to talk to. You're a very good teacher. You ask some really good questions. Sometimes they're really hard questions and nobody around me answers, and I don't say anything out of fear of looking like an idiot, but that's part of the learning process, and I just need to get over myself.
Well, I mean, too, I believe that too, and I also believe, hopefully, if I am teaching though, you do leave knowing more. So that's the hope in it. So don't feel like, because like I do think
everybody in that instance leaves knowing more than they knew whenever they came in, including you, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure. I end up usually like I learn quite a lot while I'm preparing a lesson. I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before. Whoa.
Oh yeah, I've heard you
so
talk
cool.
about that during lessons. You say something along the lines of, when I was preparing for this, I read this passage, and whoa, I've never noticed that before. And it's incredible how every time you read the Bible, you find something new, something that connects to something else that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
And it amazes you every time. That was inspiring to me.
That's
and
great.
It wasn't even part of the lesson. It was just an anecdote describing something in the lesson. That was a nice touch, I think.
What would you want to leave people with?
I'm trying to think of an eloquent way to say it. I know what I have in mind, but I can't think of like a good, impactful way to get the point across. This is an incredible platform. It's rife with opportunities to do good works. Just got to put in the work to do. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. And that's why we're here. So praise God. Tucky, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And wave goodbye.